What's up, everybody? I'm back. It's Kamal. Welcome back to the Sankofa Farms channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel before we get into watching. I want to talk to you all today about a CSA. And a CSA, if you all don't know, is it stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And what it is, it's a box that farmers will offer, sometimes from their farm only or in collaboration with other farms, that will offer you fresh produce at retail value within the box. This helps support the farmer because they're usually 6 to 8 weeks. Farmers get their money up front before we have to take on the inputs for the growing season. We're able to have the money up front, expand our operations, and get you all great quality food. I think that this model is going to be something that we're going to be leaning toward, especially as farms. And you're starting to see a lot of farms talk about diversifying, which is really interesting because small farms have been doing it for since their conception. So now, or we've been doing it, but there's been like a historical piece on the preference of monoculture. That's another conversation. We'll have that one. But I think now we're moving back toward that, and we're actually going to start one this year. Our reasoning is, one, we want to diversify our operations. And also, now that we have a stable growing structure, and you all can see greenhouses, there's a refrigeration unit behind us, the more carport tunnels, we have outdoor fields now. We're going to do an updated tour for you all. We're expanding. We're going to be able to, and we have a van that we can distribute food. It's not refrigerated. We are going to be working toward that, but we're looking to get to redevelop this close adjacentness back to community. Right now, we've been mainly partnering with food cooperatives and distributions to push food out, just as we streamline and put systems around our growing practice. But now that we're doing that heading out of the winter, I think we're in a very prime space to be able to offer high quality food consistently, and it's diversified. We will probably run into some hiccups as we go into the fall. So we may partner with farms around here for storage crops, but with the amount of space we have at Sankofa, I think that we can do a lot of winter squash this year. I think we can do a lot of potatoes, onions. I think we can handle with our operation, just with the space we have. The farm is 12 acres. We only have 7. We have 7 still wooded, and we have 5 like that's clear. So we have the space to be able to expand and do these things, but it'll just be a storage piece because all of our excess produce cannot go in this refrigeration unit. All of the storage crops can. But we are looking forward to doing that this year. We also will have potentially shiitake mushrooms. We just got done cutting logs yesterday. So now we'll get the inoculate in probably next week. We'll start drilling, getting the culture in, capping it off with wax, and then we'll give it to her when they start to bud, which will be around August, September. We'll start flushing logs and getting mushrooms for our CSA. So we're thinking about diversification, and we're thinking about more closer community ties so that we can start to build out. I'm working with the idea to see if we can build clusters in a few counties here. And I'll go into the idea later, but we really want to get back into community. I think that's the most important thing we can do right now. So we're going to be starting a CSA and really getting food out. Another thing with CSAs, this model was created by a man named Booker T. Watley, not to be confused with Booker T. Washington. And he wrote a book on how to make 100,000 on 25 acres. And it gives you a lot of the information you do see in other places, but he gives you like 10 commandments on how to build out direct to consumer or retail connections as a smaller farm. Because you think about 25 acres, it would seem like a lot, but in the 1960s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 25 acres isn't a lot compared to people who have hundreds or thousands of acres. But right now, I think what we're seeing with the domestic first push from our current administration, and one thing I'm not going to do on my channel is get into politics with people. I'm pretty sure y'all probably noticed somewhere in red, white, and blue. That is not intentional. I just have this red jacket I don't wear. My hoodie was blue. It's really warm. And then my hat is white. I got it from H&M. It's really nice. But you know, there. Well, one thing I'm not gonna do on my channel is go like deep into politics, because I'm not trying to be divisive with stuff. And quite naturally, when we're talking about like, what we're doing like day to day, it doesn't like we have to adjust. Like we have to do it personally. We have to do it economically, professionally. Like we have to do it in so many different ways. So I'm not going to do that. But I do think that the domestic first emphasis with this administration can be an angle for smaller growers to start developing more concrete relationships with their communities. I do think there'll be a lot of opportunities. I think there'll be funding. Now, if you get access to the funding or not, like we know there's a historical conversation around that, especially with me being a black farmer. Like I'm well aware of that. I think that we have to watch this closely. I have been looking at information on VA loans and how black soldiers were disproportionately affected from the housing and the farm piece, being able to obtain farmland. So that's a whole other conversation. That, we'll dive into that. But I think there will be funding coming down. I would say apply, but I would also say be very conscious of the historical piece of it. I would hope that we would have equal access to it. I'm not gonna argue that, but I think that there may be a chance here to get access to resources for us to build out smaller farms, and smaller operations that work closely with the community and to build the infrastructure. So I encourage people to get a farm number so you can be eligible for these programs. There is a crop reporting piece. I know, just depending on what farmer you talk to, some of them don't like USDA loans. We went through the USDA. We had to fight to get Sankofa. We originally got denied, but it got overturned. But we're here now. I think that there are opportunities for others to be able to push for, to get access to space. So there are other funding options too, like you can form a collaborative, you could go through your agricultural credit union. But there are barriers in all of these processes, and there's pros and cons. And maybe that's the video, I can go through the pros and cons of funding for your farm. But I would say this time right now, I think it's important that we push these programs if we can, to try to get access. Or if you're in a strong community, you raise the money, buy the farm outright. I think that's ultimately the best option. But we'll talk about those ideas later. But I just want to share those thoughts with you all. Tell me what more topics that I maybe touched on in here that you want me to maybe elaborate more on. But I'm looking forward to engaging with you all about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the channel, and I'll catch you all next time on our channel.